Irminsul, the center of the Saxon religion. Disclaimer. I would like to ask the viewer to have an open mind, because this video may challenge one's views. This video does not subscribe to any materialist theories, such as the Aryan invasion theory, nor the out of India theory. Rather, the premise of this video is that the whole world at some point in the past was practicing Sanatana Dharma, which is Sanskrit for the eternal natural way. But due to time and circumstance, Sanatana Dharma around the world got distorted, corrupted, and reinterpreted. The non-Abrahamic religions, i.e. the pagan religions, are actually relics of an older Vedic religion. But what does Irminsul mean? Well, we have Irmin, in this context means universal, and we have sul, which means pillar. As we know from Latin, this is known as universalis columna. But Irmin, in this context, yes, it does mean universal, but it also means other things as well, which we'll get into this little excerpt from the Heliand, which is Irmin is translated to be meaning like all, if you will. So we have here ik allun skal Irmin theodon domos adelian. I shall judge all the nations of the world. And yes, there already is all there with allun, but Irmin, it means all, but like in the context of universality and like all, so they kind of go hand in hand. Moving on. So with Irmin having many meanings, we have here an Old Saxon meaning universal pillar. We have Irmano, which you could argue to mean great person. And then in Old Saxon we have Irmin Theodon, and by the way, this is an inflected form, meaning all nations. Then we have Irmin Man, which means every person. So this idea of universality is nuanced in different contexts, if you will. So moving on. But to go deeper into Irmin, we do have to look to Old English, and by this time, Old English and Old Saxon, they were close enough where the languages, for some words, meant the same thing. And the thing is with Old English that the word Irmin, or variations of it, or Ermen, if you will, Eormen, to be specific, if you will, is attested more. So through Old English, we can have a more nuanced and better idea of what this word actually means. So we have one excerpt here that says Fara Theond Alne Irmene Grund, which means go through the whole earth. And then we have Bringet Augustus Irmin Theodum Helaf Massan Dai. So August brings Lammas Day to all the nations of earth. We have here whole, and then we have here all, right? But moving on. So in Old English, and however, I'm using the normalized spelling here of Eormen, and it means a number of things. So we have Erminkun, which means human race. So again, this idea of universal, all, whole, it's there, right? So it's kind of nuanced, right? And then we have Erminrik. This is a name. Could this mean universal ruler? Could this mean a great ruler, a ruler of all? There are many ways to go about this. Then we have great, with Irmin Laf, meaning great legacy. Irmin Strund, great generation. Irmin Theod, meaning a great people. Perhaps Irmin Rik, great ruler, but moving on. It could also mean immense, something, so I guess really large. So it's so large that it's universal. Everyone knows about it, if you will, or it has to interact with some way or another. So we have your Ermengrund, which means spacious earth, which in other contexts it can mean the whole earth, as we have here Ermengrund as well under whole. And then we have Ermen Theod, which means all nations. So this idea of all great, something that's massive, if you will, that encompasses all people, if you will. So universal. By extension, you could say general, meaning that it's for everyone or everything, if that makes sense. But let us move on. However, in the case of this video, how is Irminsul described by the historical record? Well, we have from Ruldof of Fulda from the 8th century that he describes this Irminsul as something of great size, that it's like high under the sky, that in Latin it's called universalis columna, meaning the universal pillar, as if supporting everything. And this is what Ruldof of Fulda says. And this is very significant because this relates to Dharma, because Dharma, as a word, deeper in its etymology, it means that which upholds. And Dharma, and another way of translating it, is the natural way, the order of the cosmos, nature. Of course, Dharma could be translated into many different things, but for the context of this video, the natural way, that which upholds, the order of the cosmos, nature, and so on. So it is the foundation of everything, essentially, of this universal pillar and universal concept. So what we can get from this is that that the Irminsul is a representation of Dharma of its time. But I'm getting ahead of myself right now. Moving on. So given this historical description of Irminsul, and knowing that these non-Abrahamic religions have their source in Sanatana Dharma, I would argue that Irminsul is a Saxon, by extension Germanic, expression of Dharma of its time. This would explain why the Abrahamic Franks in 772 CE went out their way to destroy something so important to the Dharmic Saxons. To learn more about Sanatana Dharma and how it's the root of paganism, I would recommend the video Sanatana Dharma, the Root of Paganism. You can find it on the YouTube channel called Dharma Nation. It's led by none other than Sri Dharma Bhavartika Acharya, who's an authentic guru who's been practicing the Vedic tradition for over 40 years. He's non-Indian and of Italian and Spanish descent. And that's it for this video, guys. Thank you for watching, and be sure to subscribe if you're new. If you really like the channel, please become a patron at my Patreon page down below. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.